This is a Fischbein tape sewing infeed, and we're going to change the blades, the bag top cutter blades. Some of the guards have already been removed, the belt guards, the front entrance guard. So we're going to take these 3 bolts out of the back and remove this gearbox assembly. We're going to start by taking, you can take the belt off now or later, but we're going to remove the 4 corner screws that hold this plate on, and we'll lift this off of here. And then we will take these off, the 2 upper pins. They've got cotters in them. Take those out, drive the pins out, and then the only thing holding this to the infeed will be these rear bolts. So I'm going to do that now. If you will loosen this bolt, which goes against the block, which is at the bottom of this spring, that's the tension bolt. So the looser, the farther out this bolt is, the less tension is on that spring. You're probably going to want to loosen it when it goes time to put this back together. I've already pulled the front pin out. I'll pull the rear pin out. What you want to be careful of, the top of that spring up here has got a loop on it that has to go over this pin. So just remember that when you're reinstalling, that this needs to be lifted up so that the pin will go through the loop. That's the retainer for the top of the spring. So with these pins out, there's nothing left holding this whole assembly to the infeed except for the 3 mounting bolts. So I'm going to take them out now, and then I'm going to bring this whole assembly over to the bench. All right, here we are with the trimmer assembly removed and on the bench. Let me emphasize how important it is to have a good, clean work area. Makes everything go so much smoother. There are 3 types of blades that Fischbein makes for these cutters. 2 of them are for a standard infeed, and they are either for paper or woven poly bags. So make sure you order the right blades. The 3rd type is for poly bags and an adjustable tube mechanism that actually tilts one of the tubes slightly so that you get an angle. You get a real sure nip angle, they call it. It's where the blades are not perfectly parallel on the same plane, but one of them is actually tilted slightly. That gives a better cut, a cleaner cut. This is a standard one, and it's for poly bags. So we're going to use the A2681 blades on it. They are reversible, the blades, one time. Now once both edges on both blades have been used once, then you need to put new blades on. So I'm going to go get a couple of blades and come back and tell you more. This is what Fischbein, genuine Fischbein blades look like. They come in this protective, greasy, waxy plastic stuff. You want to cut that off of there carefully. Don't damage the edge of the blade. And then clean all that stuff off. Get it good and clean. What we're going to do is, as you can see, there's a spring under here. And this side is spring loaded. That's the blade that rides on this one. Remember, this is upside down, so this is the top, this is the bottom. But this blade rides on this one, and this one is fixed by a set screw. against a flat spot on the shaft. I'm going to remove this set screw right now, slide this off, and then I'll be able to slide this one off, and I'll show you the hubs. While you have the hubs off, which I slid right off of the shafts here, you want to check both shafts for any kind of chatter, looseness, bad bearings. This block over here, which rides around the surface of this aluminum hub, which is above the rear blade. What that does is, as the scrap gets cut, the scrap bag gets cut, and it goes past along this chute to be thrown out. Sometimes it wants to wrap around that hub. This piece of plastic, spring-loaded against that hub, rides right up against it, and so that any of that plastic bag wants to come around, it hits that and deflects it out the exit. This one's got a lot of bad wear on it, so we're going to replace this block. With the surface that's going to ride around the outside of that hub. There's the old block. You can see how much, how bad the wear is on it. Both blades on both hubs are sandwiched between the brass piece and an aluminum piece. You remove the 3 screws and take it apart, put the new blade in between. Same here. It's just got a smaller threaded retainer because it doesn't have to have this surface to remove the scrap. All right, new blades are installed. Now I'm going to go mount this back on the infeed and show you how to adjust the height of the cut so that here's what we'll be doing that with the set screw. We're going to pry up on the spring-loaded side to get it off of the front blade, or the rear blade, sorry. And then we'll loosen the set screw and slide this whole hub up or down until where the cut takes place is right under this tunnel here that of the tape folder. So the bag top will just clear the bottom inside of this folder as it goes under. Now, before you bring the cutter back, is a good time to check these wear items for play. Where the pins go through the brackets here. This rear one seems to have a lot of play in it. It could be all the pin and the brackets are okay, or it could be the bracket as the holes are elongated. So I'm going to take a look at that and be back to put the cutter back on. You may or may not have to raise up the guards to move the blades up or down. There's the screw right there you just loosen, and then you can slide this whole piece up. Then when you make your adjustments, then you can bring it back down close to the blades. You just want to make sure that the stainless guides are not rubbing on the blades. All right, right now I've got the set screw turned to where I can get an Allen wrench in it. I actually like it better out the back. There's a lot more room to bring your set screw in from here. Then we're going to pry up on the front hub. Just basically pry it up far enough so it's out of the way. And then we're going to go back to the rear hub and raise it up again to where the cutting edge will cut the bag top to go right under this folder. Once it's locked down, then we'll gently release the whatever we have prying this front hub up out of there. We'll set it back down because remember, it's spring loaded. You don't want it slamming down on the other blade. And then it's pretty much done until you actually are running bags and you test it for height, and then you can readjust it later. And don't forget to put all your guards back on and watch your hands. Thanks for watching.